We have entered through the third millennium through a gate of fire. If today, after the horror of 11 September, we see better and we see further, we will realize that humanity is indivisible. New threats make no distinction between races, nations, or regions. A deeper awareness of the bonds that bind us all, in pain as in prosperity, has gripped young and old.
If love was not the law of life, life would not have persisted in the midst of death. My goal is friendship with the world, and I can combine the greatest love with the greatest opposition to wrong. The whole world is like the human body with its various members. Pain in one member is felt in the whole body. Love is the subtlest force in the world.
The reason I don't despair is because this attack happened. It's not a dream, but the aftermath of it, the recovery, is a dream realized. Any fool can destroy, but to see these guys, these firefighters, these policemen, and people from all over the country, literally with buckets rebuilding, that's extraordinary. That's why we've already won. It's light. It's democracy. We've already won. They can't shut that down. They live in chaos. And chaos, it can't sustain itself. It never could. It's too easy, and it's too unsatisfying. John Stewart, class of '84.
Fourscore and 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth upon this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. We here highly resolve that the dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, and for the people shall not perish from the earth.
I'm speaking on behalf of my husband, Glenn, who could not be here this evening, who is Todd's older brother. Their legacy is not in their death. It is ultimately not in their sacrifice. It is in the sunrises and sunsets, the birthdays and the holidays, the first dates and the firstborns, all the cherished moments they have made possible for the families they left behind, and for the thousands of their brothers and sisters in arms, still out there, on point and on patrol.
Life is their legacy. Let us live it to the top. Let us remember that the best of who we are as Americans lies in our own hearts and in our own actions and what we do to honor those who have rendered this last full measure of devotion.
Sometimes we must interfere when human lives are endangered, when human dignity is in jeopardy. National borders and sensitivities become irrelevant. Whenever men or women are persecuted because of their race, religion, or political views, that place must, at that moment, become the center of the universe.
Character cannot be developed in ease and quiet. Only through experience of trial and suffering can the soul be strengthened, ambition inspired, and success achieved.
This is a moment to seize. The kaleidoscope has been shaken. The pieces are in flux. Soon they will settle again. Before they do, let us reorder this world around us. Today, humankind has the science and technology to destroy itself or to provide prosperity to all. Yet science can't make that choice for us. Only the moral power of a world acting as a community can. By the strength of our common endeavor, we achieve more together than we can alone. For those people who lost their lives on 11 September and those that mourn them, now is the time for the strength to build that community. Let that be their memorial.
I received my commission through ROTC at the College of William and Mary and earned a BA in government. I was branched infantry, which was my first choice, and will be stationed at Fort Campbell. I decided to become an Army officer to fulfill my sense of duty to my country, ensure an active lifestyle, and enter into a culture whose values closely mirror my own.
As a leader, I am aware that I have strengths as well as weaknesses. I believe my strengths include my command presence, initiative, and desire to lead from the front. My weaknesses include my tendency to take charge when subordinate leaders are struggling. Depending on the situation, I need to make more of an effort to develop that leader to be more effective. Although I do have some prior military experience, I have much to learn about the Army.
Educate and inform the whole mass of the people. Enable them to see that it is their interest to preserve peace and order, and they will preserve them. And it requires no very high degree of education to convince them of this. They are the only sure reliance for the preservation of our liberty.
Power at its best is love implementing the demands of justice. Justice at its best is love, correcting everything that stands against love.
A gift from Mother Teresa. People are often unreasonable, illogical, and self-centered. Forgive them anyway. If you are kind, people may accuse you of being selfish, ulterior motives. Be kind anyway. If you are successful, you will win some false friends and some true enemies. Succeed anyway. If you are honest and frank, people may cheat you. Be honest and frank anyway. What you spend years building, someone could destroy overnight. Build anyway. If you find serenity and happiness, they may be jealous. Be happy anyway. the good you do today, people will often forget tomorrow. Do good anyway. Give the world the best you have, and it may never, never be enough. Give the world the best you've got anyway. You see, in the final analysis, it is between you and God. It was never between you and them anyway.
It's a wonder I haven't abandoned all my ideals. They seem so absurd and impractical. Yet I cling to them because I still believe, in spite of everything, that people are truly good at heart.
In the future days which we seek to make secure, we look forward to a world founded upon 4 essential human freedoms. The first is freedom of speech and expression everywhere in the world. The second is freedom of every person to worship God in his own way everywhere in the world. The third is freedom from want, which, translated into world terms, means economic understandings which will secure to every nation a healthy, peacetime life for its inhabitants everywhere in the world. The fourth is freedom from fear, which, translated into world terms, means a worldwide reduction of armaments to such a point and in such a thorough fashion that no nation will be in a position to commit an act of physical aggression against any neighbor anywhere in the world. That is no vision of a distant millennium. It is a definite basis for a kind of world attainable in our own time and generation. President Franklin D. Roosevelt.
We would speak of Ubuntu, that my humanity is caught up and bound up with yours. And so, one who has Ubuntu will be gentle and tough, will be hospitable and whole, will be a person of integrity and honesty and goodness and caring and compassion, of laughter and joy, of peace and reconciliation, willing to forgive because not to forgive leads to bitterness, which gnaws away at the vitals of one's being. Without forgiveness, there is no future. We will forgive, but not forget. We will not forget the cost of our freedom, and so will not devalue it. We will not forget the atrocities and awfulnesses, so that we will not let them happen again to anyone.